All right, so this is a very interesting world record holding fact about a Tamil cinema movie. I think a lot of you have never known about this, but I'm here to talk about it. So this film I actually saw during like the lockdowns way back in 2020 because I was really bored and I was trying to find movies to watch and I saw this movie. I'm like, "Oh, there's a lot of stars in it." Ironically, it held the world record, and I still think it holds the world record for the most stars in one movie. And I think it also held at, for a long period of time, the world record for the fastest film ever completed. So that means that the movie was completed within 24-hour span. And I think two other movies beat the record, but at one point, this Tamil cinema movie held both of those world records, and I still think it holds the world record for the most stars in one movie. But yeah, at one point, it was a world record holding film. And the movie is called Suyamvaram. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what movie is Suyamvaram? I've never heard of this movie before, or you probably have never even thought a movie like this existed. Well, it came out in 1999, and it was specifically made in order to break this world record. As it says right there above the title, it was a movie that was made within a 24-hour span. Now, even before you watch the movie itself, they say in title cards that, hey, remember, this movie's not supposed to be good. It's pretty much made in order to break this world record, so keep that in mind while watching the movie. And here's the title card explaining that, when watching this film, keep in mind that the film was made in 24 hours, so the quality of the movie is not going to be the greatest in terms of like the story or whatever. But yeah, for a Tamil cinema movie, this is very innovative and very interesting because the fact that this whole group of talent came together to make this like world record. And I'll show you who was a part of this film. So yeah, this is the crew members that were a part of the film. Now, a lot of them are not famous anymore. These are pretty much like 90s staples. But there are some famous people here and there. There's obviously Arjun, the actor who directed a portion of the film. There's also Selva, who directed some movies in the early 2000s. Sundar C is there. K.S. Ravi Kumar is there. P. Vasu is there too. And also like music composers like Deva composed music for the film. A bunch of cinematographers, a bunch of editors, and one art director. And also, I think that they included like Rajinikanth and Kamal as a part of the star cast, even though they were not in the exact film itself. They included the ceremony that like commemorated the start of the production of the movie in the opening credits. So I guess that they included them as part of the star cast. So this extensive list of people are the stars of Suyamvaram, and they are the world record holders for the most stars compiled into one movie in general. So again, I don't know if they still hold the world record for this, but the fact that all of these stars from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s were all in this one movie together is outstanding and interesting because at the time, Tamil cinema didn't really want multi-stars in general. Like in Hindi cinema, there was a lot of multi-stars. There was a lot of films where big stars were coming together. But at the time in Tamil cinema, a lot of stars didn't want to share screen space with them because they wanted to be the main attractions in their films. So the fact that all of these people came together to make this one movie is outstanding. And it was kind of like the seed that was planted in order for multi-stars to even happen later on. Now it's kind of becoming the norm. But at the time, this was like a rare sight. Now, again, to be fair, when I watched this film during lockdown, I noticed that the story is kind of like jumbled. It kind of jumps here and there. And obviously, you could tell like they were filming multiple scenes in multiple locations just for the sake of having this movie, completed within the 24-hour span. There's only really like the beginning and the ending and kind of like a middle portion of the film that the majority of the stars are in one scene together. But yeah, it's more of an anthology film that they kind of compiled together to make the world record even happen. But yeah, when you watch this movie, you will understand what I mean in terms of like the story kind of like being iffy. It's a very simple story. We've seen it in other films before and after. But yeah, just for the sake of this world record, it is kind of an interesting watch. So yeah, if you want a great time capsule into the 90s, this is the perfect movie. And again, Suyamvaram is not a great movie in terms of the story, but if you want a movie to see like how comedy, romance, drama was done in the 90s, this is your movie. If you want to see how like the camera angles, the editing, the dances, the music, the direction, if you want to see how all of that was done in the 90s, this is your film too. And if you want to see it, it's on YouTube. So you just need to type in Suyamvaram full movie, and it's on the Pyramid YouTube channel. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, like, again, this is not a story-based film. It is pretty much an initiative. And I kind of wish that Tamil cinema did more of these initiatives because, again, it is such an interesting movie because when you watch it, you're like, wow, I wonder how they coordinated with each other, because apparently when you read some articles about this film, apparently they would like call each other from the different sets and make sure that everything was timed right, and that the editor would get all the film scenes on time so that they could edit everything together. And like, you know, like they're filming in different locations in the city at the same time, just so that like they can all, you know, compile their footage and material together in order to be able to be submitted within the 24-hour like time frame. But yeah, like I know that, you know, like Parthiban, who's actually a part of this film, did the movie Iruvanirul last year, which was like the first ever film to be shot like in one take, and like one take without like it being a linear story. And then there's like other films in Tamil cinema like Narunizinai, which was directed by Gautam Menon, which is a bad movie, but it's, I think, one of the only Tamil cinema movies that has no music in it. I love when Tamil cinema tries something different and tries, you know, some initiatives and like some sort of like originality in terms of what they're trying to do. Because like if we keep seeing the same thing over and over again, it gets redundant, it gets tired. But yeah, I love it when they try something different and something new and something unique. Because again, you know, Suyamvaram is not a good movie, like I said, but it is so cool to see because you see the kind of talent that these people have. No matter if you're fans of them or not, you see that they all worked hard together in order to make this one goal happen. So yeah, that's your history lesson of the day. And again, go watch the film because it is a cool thing to watch and it will pass the time. And again, you will get to see a piece of world history.